Today is Saturday, December 13th, 2014, and you're listening to Comm Chatter Off Duty. I'm your host, Alderin, and with me, as always, is Colonel Pixley.
Hey, you can't just say you're the host. I'm the host too.
And
co-hosts.
That's why you're with me.
Makes you sound like a guest.
Yeah, well, we could always use more guests, I suppose. but you get the points.
Okay, keep going.
You get the point. So it's been a little while. We've both been busy, as usual. It seems like that happens between every single episode, but Pixley's finally on break. I'm getting my hours cut at work because the place is probably going to go under.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Less work, more time for this.
Hooray!
I'm not sure if that's good or bad, because it also means less money to blow on pledges.
Yeah.
So other than, being busy with school and stuff, how have you been?
How have I been? Pretty good, I'd say. I'm in a relationship now, that's pretty cool. Other than that, it's been a lot of school stuff. I mean, finals just happened. I finished my capstone game, which turned out pretty well, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, I'm just happy that I can just kind of breathe finally. This break was long overdue because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I pretty much already summed up my time. I mean, it's basically work, game, sleep. It's pretty much all I can do right now.
Yup.
Don't work night shift, people, unless you make a lot of money doing it. Trust me. We've got a bunch of stuff to go over today. We've got the Carrack unveiling, the Javelin unveiling, multi-crew ship systems, a little bit about the Carrack minigame, and also a bit about the last couple stretch goals, about our Hainers, and a big topic by yours truly on expenses. At least what we can expect for expenses. All that and more after the jump.
So, during the anniversary sale, we were finally exposed to the Anvil Carrack, an exploration ship done by Anvil Aerospace. According to the website, it's been the vanguard of every UE exploration effort in recent years, featuring reinforced fuel tanks, highly advanced jump drive array, whatever that means, and a dedicated computer core room. Ooh. It's now available for civilian use, so that's why we're getting it. And it even has crew medical and repair facilities and a mapping-oriented sensor suite. And it's got a bunch of stats I don't feel like reading because there are a lot of them. Actually, no, I'll go over a couple. Like, comes with 2 TR6 engines, which those are really, really big. And it has 16 TR2 maneuvering thrusters. Maybe even has a lot of maneuverability, I don't know. It is big. But yeah, 123 meters long, null mass of 18,000 kilograms, or not 18,000, 180,000 kilograms, or if you're feeling adventurous, 180 megagrams, and a max crew of 5. Apparently has no cargo capacity. Feel like the note below it saying that ship specs are subject to change may apply to that. I fail to see how a ship could have 0 cargo capacity.
Be that size away. However, I don't remember where I heard this, or if it's in a post somewhere, or if it was, or if a dev said it on the forum or something. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna have some slight modularity. Like you could, like if you look at the concept picture,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have something that the rover or whatever is rolling out of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that could be a cargo bay. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
I
have
would
to look into
assume.
that again. But
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't see how the zero number could be right. That.
yeah, not for a ship that size, especially since you'll have to be carrying like a bunch of supplies if you're going to be out a while.
I would
I
like to
mean, this
pose. Oh, go ahead.
like this isn't something I mean, you're probably not going to be flying this just from system to system because you feel like it. If you have this, you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere for a long time.
Yep. Yeah, which is definitely a really cool way to play the game. And I mean, if it weren't for the fact that I really want to do the anti-piracy thing, that's probably what I would do. But I would just like to ask one question. How many ships that look like Serenity are we going to have in this game? Because we're at 2 now. Because we got this and the Freelancer.
I'm not sure if the freelancer really looks like it that much. It does a little.
It has the same overall shape, I'd
Well,
argue.
I mean,
The Carrack definitely more so than the Freelancer.
yeah.
By miles, but I don't know. I feel
That
like
said-
there's a lot of
that
influence
said,
there.
I actually only just watched Serenity and Firefly recently.
You poor deprived man.
Yeah, like through all this time, I kind of thought it was, just it was gonna be nothing special because I know a lot. I didn't know it was. I mean, a lot of the shows people talk about are just kind of meh. Then I watched it and it was like, yes. And then I finished it and it was like, no. But that's not Star Citizen.
Yeah. What is Star Citizen, though, is the little exploration adventure minigame you get to play on the Into the Unknown Carrack little page thing, which you've played that, so why not talk a little about it? Because I was really busy at the time and didn't get the opportunity. I've kind of forgotten
It's
since then.
still there.
Well, yes, of course it's still there.
But yeah, they were. It took a while, and at least using my browser, it's just a basic Firefox. It just kind of slows to crawl. So I don't know if you'd want to use a 64-bit browser or something. I'm not sure if that would help or what, or cause it to slow down for me. But I made it all the way to the end on the first try, but I was a little worried for a while because there are so many choices. Like there are pirates. There's a Banu merchant that captures said pirates. There's asteroids and like a fake. Wait, no, spoilers. I'm gonna stop talking about all that now. Let's just say there's like, I think it was like 2. I think there might have been a choice. A 3-choice one in there somewhere. I'm not sure anymore. I did this on like the first day.
Well, yeah, and that was like 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah. Apparently, someone found Chris Roberts' wreck in here somewhere.
Oh yeah, there was a post on the Star Citizen subreddit where someone had like built an Imgur album out of like all the major devs like ending points. It was great. So
But, yeah.
would you say like how the choices work? Is that like FTL style going on?
I've not played FTO.
Oh, well you should. It's a
Well,
really good game.
Basically, each choice has 2 different outcomes. I mean, it has different outcomes. It can waste fuel. It can damage your ship.
Oh yeah, that does sound very FTL
it
to
can
me.
lower morale.
Ooh, morale. Yeah.
Not to mention, fuel drops as you go. So the more you scroll, the more your fuel drops. And I think morale does too.
Mm-hmm.
And if any one of those drops to nothing, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty low on fuel once I got to the end. I think I was on my last bar of fuel.
Oh, wow.
But as I was approaching that, like 10, 20 minutes before, maybe not 20. 10's probably about right. But it was just wave after wave after wave of people running out of morale. And I still had half of it by that point.
Nice. Yeah, well, that just goes to show you gotta keep morale up. Like, just in general. Yeah, but you should definitely play FTL. It sounds to me like, I mean, what I'll probably end up doing to enhance the experience of the show is I'll record myself playing a bit of it, and like overlay it over our discussion, just to make things a little more interesting for the YouTube viewers, especially since I haven't really done anything like that in a while. And it'll actually give me an excuse to play it.
Another thing this kind of brings to mind is if NPC crew members will have morale.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You could be having a great time, then you get into battle and you barely make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have those crew members contracted or whatever for a while. And maybe their morale is really low, so I don't know. What if they mutiny or just stop working or don't work as well?
That would be a very interesting system. I'd love to see CIG put that in. I wonder if they're considering that. Well, I mean, I guess if they have morale in their little web game thingy, they must be at least considering it. I think they should go for it.
Yeah, and there are so many different ways it can go. I mean, like the more gruff types, like if you hire, I don't know, just typical thugs or something, they'd probably be more likely to mutiny or something.
Yeah. Well, I would think like the
Other
gruff
people-
types, their morale would stay high like when you're in combat, but if you're like doing a lot of quiet stuff, like their morale would go down. Conversely, if you were hiring like engineers or something, their morale would be high while things are quiet and not very high when things are breaking all around them.
Yeah, and each could be more likely to do one thing than
Yeah,
the other.
yeah.
Like I said, thugs could be more likely to mutiny. Pilots could just, like, if you have pilots escorting you, they could just abandon you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. It could be stuff like that, simply, not working as effectively. Like I said, like, my job isn't doing too good, and a lot of people are just kind of, quite frankly, half-assing their job.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're still doing it when there's a manager watching, but when there's not, they'll just sit around.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've not played that minigame, you really should. It's interesting, and, I'll have to check it out again, see how many more wrecks there are.
I imagine quite a few. Alrighty,
Okay,
moving on then.
Javelin. The Javelin is the biggest ship that will be sold by CIG, at least in the crowdfunding phase. It'll still be available in the Persistent Universe in other ways. Now, some might say the Idris is bigger, but it was smaller when it was sold. You remember how much this sold for, Pixley?
The Javelin?
Yep.
If I recall correctly, $2,500.
Yep. And they sold out in, I think it was about 18 seconds with each wave.
I remember seeing somewhere, like on subreddit, like the second or third wave, it was like gone in three, because people would attempt to purchase it during a prior wave, and like it not go through because like it had sold out by the time they would
Oh,
like
and
add it to their cart.
and it would just
It
it
would
would
just
just stay
sit
in their
there.
cart.
It would
Yeah.
sit there. So as soon as the next wave would go live, they would hit purchase, and yeah, I feel like if CIG's going to do that again, they need to come up with a better system, like have people's carts expire with things of that limited nature.
Yeah, or this would probably make people rage, but more of a maybe a more random system. Like you could like quote unquote purchase it or put in your cart or something, and then it might pick a bunch of random people that
Mm-hmm.
tried to buy it and give it to them. I would. I mean,
I think
people that
first
get
come first serve it would be a better system.
yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably go load this up the second it's like I could probably hit the buy button like the second it shows up, and it would be gone by the time it loads. My internet is not the best. Thank you,
Yeah.
Time Warner. Um,
Well, I imagine
but yeah,
I would have that load pretty quickly. Thank you, Time Warner.
you've got Google Fiber in your area now. Or
Yeah, I
at least
know.
it's coming.
It is. Next month,
So
actually, is the rollout. Finally. Geez, they've been talking about
let's
it for a freaking year.
yeah, regardless of how they regardless of our ideas and how they've done in the past, they really should figure out a better way to do this.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't. I really doubt they'll sell the Javelin again. They might do it once.
Yeah, I would.
I mean,
Maybe during the next anniversary sale, and maybe like a very small number. But other than that, I find it very doubtful.
I really can't wait until they do something with the new Corvette, the one that replaces the Idris. I want to see that thing so bad.
Oh, yes. That would be nice.
But anyway, we've blathered on about that enough. We should actually get on to the details about the Javelin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Javelin is used by the UE military, and you'll see it a lot in Squadron 42. It's a really big modular ship. I believe its main purpose would be, ship-to-ship combat, although it does have room for 1 to 4 fighters, depending on the size. Like 1 Hornet or 4 Merlins.
Merlins must be freaking tiny. Although you can fit 2 Aurora and 2 M50s. Well, not at the same time, of course. But, yeah.
Now, the thing about the Javelins that were just purchased, they were stripped. They didn't have their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say they don't have any on them. Like the Gladius, the Gladiator. Those come with civilian weapons on them. And the Hornet, while we get the one with the military equipment in Arena Commander, once the Persistent Universe comes out, it's going to have, I think it was Badger repeaters and neutron guns.
Yeah, something like
Not going to
that.
have the ball. It won't have the ball turret. It won't have those big Gatling guns.
Yeah.
Might have different missiles. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know off the top of my head. Of course, if you have a Super Hornet, then you get all those nice things because you have a ton of money.
Except the Gatling gun.
Oh, does the
Those
Gatling
are-
gun not come on the Super Hornet?
I
thought it
believe it
did.
comes with. I believe it comes with M4As.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. I've not looked at the Super Hornet for a while.
Nor will I.
I remember at one point those Gatling guns were on the ball turret and it looked stupid. Anyway, okay, so yeah. Also, those javelins helped pay for cheaper auroras. And they sold out really fast too. They were
Yeah.
$20 auroras.
Yep. Approximately 1/3 um, were gifted to new people, but actually very few of them were like properly bought by new people, which I find amusing.
So aboard the javelin. The bridge is heavily armored, has a good view of the entire ship. There are, there are all the controls and stations on there. Captain, officer, comms, weapons, radar, helm, and science. According to the document here, and it has escape pods all around it, as well as all over the ship. Top deck. That's where the captain and officer quarters are. The rooms in this are also modular, so slap a bunch of stuff on there. Battle-oriented room modules, so I'd assume like armories.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also... Hold on a second. And there are also aftermarket modules, such as, according to this, science and cartography. There are also escape pods here.
Escape pods everywhere.
It's a good thing. You don't want to be stuck on a dying ship.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Mid-decks. It has access to 2 torpedo bays and 6 turrets. It also has engine access. This deck also has 2 more modular rooms and access to the hangar, medical bay, and the brig.
And crew quarters.
It also has the standard crew quarters, showers, toilet, mess hall, and escape pods.
Escape pods.
Bottom deck has 6 dedicated cargo rooms, 2 engineering facilities, and access to the engine column. There are also 2 ship-to-ship turrets and 4 more component rooms, modular component rooms. There's also the main hangar, and you can only handle a couple of ships.
If you can fit a Redeemer in there. I imagine barely. I mean, the Redeemer's pretty big.
It can hold 1 Gladius, or 1 Hornet, 1 Avenger, 1 Gladiator, 1 300 series, 2 M50 or Auroras, 1 Cutlass, 1 Mustang, or 4 Merlins.
Why anyone would put a Merlin in a Javelin is beyond me.
I don't know, I still think they'll be quite capable. They just won't have much for range.
Yeah.
Still to be seen. I mean, we've still not seen them fly or anything, really.
Merlin next for Arena Commander, please. I guess they'd actually
Although I
have to
think
finish
the
it.
stats were updated for not too long ago, I think.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, it has this supposedly the same type of engines and thrusters as all the other fighters and things now, instead of chemical.
Oh.
Let's go look at that again.
Interesting.
Subdecks. Now these are very exposed. It has access to 2 more modular rooms and 6 more anti-aircraft turrets and an EVA airlock. This is, according to the document, this is where you want to assign your junior members.
Oh yes, let the rookies die. You might as well put them in red outfits even.
Technical specifications. The Javelin is 345 meters long. The beam is 148 meters. Height, 65 meters. Cargo capacity, 5,400. Minimum crew 23.
That's its minimum. Holy crap.
Yep. Max power plant 2 size 8. Max engine 4 tier 7. Maneuvering thrusters 12 tier 4.
Damn.
Max shield 14. Weapons 13 size 5 anti-aircraft turrets, 2 size 7 ship-to-ship turrets. Yeah, 9 meter, I guess. Yeah.
9-meter torpedoes? 9 meters is really long.
Yeah, metric.
That's like 30 feet. Holy crap.
Yeah. I don't think it's that much to cross because
Well, yeah, I would assume, but damn. Those equipped with like nuclear warheads or something?
escape pods 16 5-man, 3 3-man. Wait, what?
No, those are the dimensions. It's 3 by 3 by 4 meters. So,
There are
36 cubic meters.
80 escape pods.
No,
Modular
there are
component
16 escape
bays.
pods. Each can hold 5 people.
Oh, so you can have 80 people escape.
Yes.
I hate to be the 81st person.
Well, I imagine the fire marshal would not allow 81 people on the ship.
Yeah, and if he did, I suppose at least one person would die and whatever takes the ship.
Well, obviously the captain would have to go down with the ship, so I guess the max crew is 81. Because the captain has to go down with the ship, because everyone knows that.
Modular component bays 12. Modular rooms 6. Now
Well,
there are some to be announced or to be
I don't know
what's
if
the
the C. I don't know.
probably meant to be TBD or something.
Maybe. Although, yeah, I guess DNC.
There are
announced
some
it on the
things
keyboard.
here that haven't been announced yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is just concept phase thus far, so yeah.
I don't really see a javelin in my future.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe if Pick and Shield becomes this huge organization, we like go up against the likes of Goonrathy or something. But somehow I doubt that.
I really doubt that. Maybe the replacement Corvette.
I think the best
I
we can
can't
hope for is the Corvette, yeah. Yep, next thing.
Multi-crew ship systems. I'll let you get this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because it's basically the same concept of how the crew stations will work in capital ships, except it's greatly simplified because capital ships have way more different things for people to do than on just a, like, say, a Constellation, because, you know, the Javelin has a minimum crew of 23, and the Constellation has a max crew of 4. Or 5. I guess 5 if you count both turrets and then all 3 action stations. So, yeah, there's kind of a big disparity in that regard. So,
Yeah, basic. If you want to see the complete version of this, we'll include a link in the video description.
oh, you're gonna make me do that? But yeah, anyway, like, the short version is, like, you sit down in a seat and you have a crew station. Like, it's a little console that you work with, and each console has a certain set of actions set to it, and that basically determines what your role is.
Think Star Trek.
Yeah.
You have the pilot, you have the weapons officer, comms,
Yeah.
etc.
So, like, list of actions is as follows: shield management, radar ops, E-war, or electronic warfare. I don't understand why they have it in all caps. It should be a small e, capital W, and lowercase a and r. Come on. Anyway, communications, fuel, scanning, avionics and CPU, power management, navigation, and much, much more! No, that's actually like all of them, I think. I don't know, there's not really much else. I guess
Yeah, I mean, they
weapons.
go into detail on on some other stuff. Like
Yeah, like they have like a you can see like a schematic view of the ship through that.
there's also a
There's just like this big UI
pretty
thing.
preview of a Retaliator. Oh, I can't wait until that thing's out.
Oh
It looks so
yes,
nice.
yeah, yeah. That's a really neat picture. I'll go ahead and guess I'll put that up for everyone to see, which means I should probably download that picture, save them in Jazz. There we go. And I'll just throw it up on the screen. That way people can see it. So yeah, you got the action shelf, and the ship stats, and schematic view, and a bunch of presets for like how things are. Log, which is a fancy way of saying the chat, which is actually pretty clever, I think.
Hmm.
That's cool. It even like has a server restart notification in it, and a bunch of notifications. That is really cool. And then like a bunch of different things, like the one on screen right now is like shield management stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. I actually hadn't given a full look at this image yet, but now I'm glad I have. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna go over the more recent stretch goals. So the 64 one was the Genesis class Starliner, which is by Crusader Industries, which this is the first time we've
That
heard
was
of them.
62.
That's what I said.
You said 64.
Oh. Oops. Okay, 62. Thank you. But yeah. It's like the first we've heard of any Crusader ship, so that's pretty cool. It's a transport, I guess, like a...
I guess it'd be like a more affordable version of the A90, at least at least the same size.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's called a public transport ship, so I guess it's like, basically be like a 747 or something, probably along those lines. Oh, yeah, 737 is the model used in the little letter here. And then next was the community-voted MISC Reliance, which will be the third starter ship. Like all MISC ships, it's got Xi'an technology in it. And it's apparently MISC's most Xi'an tech-heavy ship to date. It has 2 separate crew seats, so it's the only starter to have multi-crew functionality. And, which... I mean, it was the reason I voted for it, and I imagine a lot of other people did too. It has a vertical fuselage. So, yeah, that's the first one, I think. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't actually notice that.
So wait, you were the one, only noticed the 2-seater, and I only noticed the vertical fuselage. Wow. Alrighty. So, the 64 one is pets. Like, we have fish and stuff, but we can have, like, dogs and cats and stuff. And this stretch goal is in honor of Paddington, the dog that showed up in the like a video at the end of the crowdfunding campaign, like the final push to get things going. That he passed away recently. I've played another MMO with pets in it, so I'm just hoping that Star Citizen takes the initiative and also has pet battling functionality, because I can't stand the thought of WoW being ahead of Star Citizen in something, so I hope to see pet battling functionality in the game real soon. Seriously, CIG, don't do that. That would be retarded. Yeah.
Doing it all over, I wouldn't want to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it showed up in like pirate areas, like pirate stations, or more outlying planets.
Yeah, I guess cockfighting. But see that do you know anything about the pet battling in WoW?
Yes, a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's basically Pokemon. So yeah, CIG, don't do that. But I mean, I feel like maybe having like cockfighting or dogfighting like around on Spider would be good. I don't know. Maybe That'd be interesting, like, because I would assume gambling is going to be in the game.
Yeah.
So, I guess you could gamble on that. I mean, it's like the Varen fights in Mass Effect, I guess. But I doubt players would actually be the ones, like... Somehow I doubt training fighting dogs will be a valid career in Star Citizen. That right there would be some feature creep.
Yeah. But you know what?
What?
It's gonna be a sad day when someone's cat finds the airlock.
Somehow I would imagine that ships would have something similar to, you know how a lot of cars, like the back seats, have that switch you can flip in the door to keep kids from getting out.
But you know what I mean. Someone is gonna do something, and their pets are gonna die, and they are going to be tears.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Colonel might get a cat. I don't know. I haven't decided whether he's like a cat or a dog person. I mean, I'm not a dog person. I'm definitely a cat person, but I don't know. Actually, I feel like this Colonel would be the sort of person who just wouldn't like animals. Yeah.
Speaking of animals.
Speaking of animals.
Hold on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're experiencing the second time we've had an animal making noises just outside a door on this show. Poor Flack. Anyway, and then looking ahead to the 65 million goal, they're looking into modular ships, but they want our feedback, so yeah. Definitely share thoughts if you have those. I feel like in some cases, like I imagine that would really only apply to like the larger ships. Like I can't imagine modularity in the 300 series like that. That'd be kind of ridiculous. But I feel like the Caterpillar would be a really good ship for that sort of thing. I mean, I think they was advertised like that to begin with. But yeah, that's the most recent set of stretch goals. Unless I've missed something, and I can double check the stretch goals page on the site right now. Scroll all the way down. Yeah, enhanced ship modularity. Oh, they actually like fleshed out. So you have the ship of your dreams, but really wish it could be customized to suit your needs a bit more than the off-the-shelf models. This new goal, a massive undertaking, is going to be of interest. We are looking to overhaul any suitable ships, including the Cutlass, Avenger, Retaliator, and Redeemer, to allow many modular components to be available as swap-outs. For example, if you've purchased a Redeemer, then using the new system would have a variety of new modules available to refit the ship, internal and external, to suit your play requirements. Stasis chambers, long-range communication suite, cargo modules, explore modules. Yeah. Manufacturers will still be offering pre-configured variants, but you should be looking to adapt to whole.
So not too long ago, or it might have been long ago, I don't remember anymore, they announced we'd be getting rooms in some hangars soon. I think they said it was the asteroid hangar?
Mm-hmm.
The VFG,
Pardon me.
that is?
Yeah, VFG Industrial.
And the AeroView.
And the AeroView? You sure not Revel and York?
I'm pretty sure.
Huh. I feel like Revel and York would be a higher candidate for that sort of thing over AeroView.
I don't know, I think they might have had the, I think you're... Now, the VFG, I think they might have had, like, a little demo of that already, way back when they first showed it off.
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
really sure. AeroView, I feel like that would be an easy one to do it for, because it's actually a really simple hangar.
Yeah.
I
so
still
is Southland.
don't think it feels complete, but that might change once they add the rooms to it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, the Revel in York and Southland feel, much more homey, much more livable, I suppose.
I don't know. There's nowhere to sit in the the Southland hangar.
I mean, they just don't feel like they're missing something quite as much.
I know.
Besides, the Reveling York one, the upstairs makes a nice buggy racetrack thing.
Ah, the buggy. I really hope buggy racing becomes a thing in the game. I want that so bad.
So, I'm pretty sure one of the rooms they said we'd get would be like a buggy racetrack.
Seriously?
Well, they had the little one that used to take up a slot in the hangar.
Oh yeah, the thing with the ramps.
I think they said they were going to redesign it.
Ooh.
I expect one to be a firing range.
Oh yeah, that's gone now. Yeah, we should have one of those again.
Yeah, and the in case no one's noticed, the weapon mount for that thing is still in the holo table.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it kind of brings up something interesting. I was at my Reveling York here the other day. I'm just sticking with that one for now.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard shooting in it.
Shooting?
Yes. It was coming from behind one of the walls.
Huh.
And it didn't sound like the guns off a ship.
Oh, they're teasing us.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like a infantry style firing range would be appropriate for when
Yeah.
the FPS module hits.
Yeah,
Whatever fancy in-universe name they're going to get that.
Another room might be some sort of living area.
I want a
Although
kitchen.
although that's probably not a priority right now.
I want it. I want it so bad.
But one thing I really want to see more than the rooms, at least right now, would be being able to invite people into your hangar.
Well, that's coming relatively soon, isn't it? Aren't they working on that right now?
I'm not sure if they are. I might have missed it.
I remember seeing something recently about it. I'll see if I can find it. Keep talking, I guess, while I look
I'm
around.
looking up too.
Actually, I might have seen it in one of the transcripts of Reverse the Verse.
Yeah, I've not seen Reverse the Verse yet. I mean, I might have seen like 5 minutes of it overall.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so just a little post. It might be around when multi-cruise ships are added. Maybe during the social module, which is...
Yeah, I feel like the system module would be...
It makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet at some point someone rich is just gonna spam, Spectrum IDs into the invite a ton of people to see their hangar with 1 million ships. Although you can only have, 6 ships now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just set someone's computer on fire, like that guy that had, 60 ships. I wonder if he bought a Javelin.
Probably.
Okay, so...
Oh!
What?
There's something we totally forgot to mention.
What?
They're doing a live stream soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When?
The
19th.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Yeah, that's super important.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
You remembered it. Why don't you do it?
I mean, that was it. I don't remember what else involved, because there's not a comm link or anything about it. I'm sure it was announced during an ATV that I didn't watch. I haven't been watching ATV lately. Haven't had time.
Yeah, I pretty much skipped most of it, honestly. I liked it for a while, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh, so yeah. there's going to be a live stream on the 19th. Don't know what time.
Yeah. Or what it's even about. I guess it'd be about Arena Commander 1.0, if that happens.
There's still one more update before it.
Yeah?
Queso.
Queso? Queso. You said queso. Alrighty, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive right into our major discussion topic for the episode. You're listening to Comm Chatter Off Duty. Don't go anywhere.
Now to the big subject for today. Expenses. Like, what could we expect? Now, there are going to be a lot of it depends situations. There's going to be a lot of speculation. There might be some things that are flat out wrong that they might have changed. Because right now, you don't really have to pay for anything outside of subscriptions. The optional subscription and pledges.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically just going to go through a list here. Fuel. Yeah, you're pretty much going to have to pay for it every time you go somewhere. Except maybe with an Aurora. There was something in the original brochure about not needing fuel. That might have just been for jump points. I mean, you are going to need to get fuel every time you go somewhere, more or less. But you might not have to get the absolute best or what gets you the most power. Like, you're not going to need this expensive, high-performance racing fuel.
Well, I imagine it'd be like
just to go
fuel.
from system to system.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it'd be like fuel grades in real life. Like
Yeah,
at like
exactly.
87, 89, and
Like
93.
like it was said a while ago that you could just scoop some from a gas giant, at least most of them,
Mm-hmm.
which you could then use as is as a low grade fuel or refine to a better one.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention there's just the airborne hydrogen, which it wouldn't do much, but it would get you from point A to point B if you run out in most situations. I'm not sure if they're gonna stick with that though.
Maybe. We'll just have to see.
I mean, it's not something you want to rely on. It's like if you run out of fuel and you don't want to call someone, you could probably just limp out at like 5 or 10% thrust.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't expect it to be that expensive unless you're going through tons and tons of it. Like if you're using those big Gatling guns on the Hornet, like we have in Arena Commander. Maybe if you're using big guns, like maybe the railgun on the Idris would be expensive to use.
It costs $400,000 to fire this weapon for 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't forget, we also have energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Other than those Gatling guns, which I only used like once or twice, I've only been using energy weapons in Arena Commander. Mostly the Omni Sky. What are they? 6s?
Omni Sky 6s, yep.
Yeah. M4As, M3As. I think I used the repeaters once or twice.
Did you never use the Klaus and Werner nose gun on the 325?
I used it like once, but I'll have to give that another shot. I used the neutron gun.
Aha! Another shot. Keep going.
Missiles. Now this one could go either way. There are little missiles like he gets on the Aurora. Then there are probably like the giant torpedoes like you'll get in a Retaliator. And then there could also be different ranges, payloads, whatever type of seeking it uses, whether it's heat, whether it locks onto an image, friend or foe, if I forget, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many factors that could affect the price. But so if you're using missiles almost exclusively, or you're fitting out bombers over and over and over, and like trying to bomb the hell out of a Bengal or something, yeah, they could get a little pricey.
Yeah, I imagine tallies are pretty expensive to keep keep operational in that regard.
But yeah, I mean, the best situation there would just be to try and conserve your missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Only use them when you absolutely need to. Like in Arena Commander, I only use them against the elite units, and that's when you start getting the tougher ones. Like 3 or 4 waves in, start to use it there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. It depends on the day I'm having, really. Otherwise, I just use my guns.
Yep. Guns are good.
Yeah. Insurance. Now, I really don't think you'll need this one, but it'll probably be really, really, really nice to have. So in Eve, there's a saying, don't fly what you can't afford to lose. And I'm guilty of doing just that many, many times. Because I never really had a lot of money in Eve. I tend to be so poor. Basically, the only reason I was able to get back to my feet in that game was because the insurance payouts, it didn't cover my weapons and equipment, rigs and what have you, but it was enough to pay for the ship, so I could usually get that and roll it around my hanger and just slap enough equipment on there to get by until I could afford good ones again. And even then, I didn't insure all my ships. I only really insured the ones that would be going into combats a lot, or that, I'd be at a great risk of losing, like if I was taking a cargo ship through low security space, or if I was taking my miner out during Hulk again. Otherwise, I didn't really insure my miner because most of the time it would be perfectly safe, and I'd be set up in a way where I could get out fast enough if I had to. I usually didn't insure my frigate because it's generally equipped like an interceptor, so I could just GTFO if I had to, like really, really fast. And a lot of the time all the time, there were different levels of insurance. The top one would pretty much pay for your ship entirely. The low one would just barely do anything, really. It wouldn't really be worth it. I'd expect it to be much the same, different levels of payments, and you get them depending on what you're doing. Like, we would probably get pretty good insurance because we're likely to lose our ships a lot with what we do in Shield.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we're good, everyone has a bad day from time to time. Now, if you're just a freelancer or something, hauling stuff from one system to the next, and it's a really safe route, you could probably get by with no insurance, or maybe just the lightest, or most basic. Now, there are also the less legitimate ones, but we don't know anything about them yet. Other than that, they might cover things other insurance won't. Like if you lose your ship trying to board or kill someone else, they cover it. Okay, next. New weapons. Not really that big a deal unless you're getting your ship shot up a lot.
Cough, us, cough.
And even then, hopefully you're not getting the crazy expensive ones unless you're really good with those specifically. And I suppose the ones I favor right now, the Omni Skies, those are probably going to be pretty pricey. But after those, I mean, I would generally like the Bearing ones. It's kind of middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's other stuff that can come into play there. There's also weapon quality. Like I would expect an Omni Sky weapon to work without maintenance a lot longer than a Bearing or Joker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another thing to think of that we don't know about yet. We know they will wear, we just don't know how fast. Taxes. I don't think we really know anything about that yet, do we?
I don't think so.
If anything, I would expect it to be like a sales tax. When you buy stuff, a certain amount is taken out, and there could be the general UE tax or system taxes as well. Maybe it could be different depending on whether you're a citizen or not, or if you're in Jean's space or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'd have to pay like a tariff or something if you're importing from outside the UEE.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would probably happen.
All speculation. I don't think they've said anything.
Nope.
New ships or weapons to replace outdated ones. As far as I know, you won't have to replace them. You might just lose a bit of an edge on other people, or you might actually gain it, because unless they plan on changing it, the way they're going to, nerf or improve ships is by releasing new models. Say the 300i is too powerful. They might release the next model year with a weaker power plant or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not powerful enough, so they might actually make it stronger. So you might not have to go and get the new one. You can just keep on going with what you've got. Another thing to keep in mind about this would be maybe they'll become collector's items, the outdated ones, outdated ships and weapons. I mean, a lot of people like to get like old cars now, 70s back, mostly, I think. Let's say people won't do that with ships. I could see someone in, I don't know, 10 years' time, if the game's still around by then. Anyway, those outdated ships could very well become collector's items.
Well,
like how a lot of people collect cars now, like old cars or...
I would imagine that'd certainly be the case for the Idris M and then the cutlasses that were sold.
Yeah, and the way it'll probably work is it's like once they update the ship, release a new model year, they'll probably stop selling the older one, and there'll just be less and less on the market as they get blown up. Who knows, your $20 Aurora could be worth a couple hundred equivalents in credits in a few years.
Well, do realize that...
Probably not that much, but ship maintenance. Unless you're in combat a lot. Also us.
Yep, definitely us.
It's probably not going to be that big a deal. Unless you let your ship get really worn out. Most repairs will probably be just... Well, they probably won't even be repairs, they'll just be general maintenance. Replacing coolant or lubricant or whatever so your parts don't get worn out. Or at least don't wear out as fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you take care of your ship, it'll take care of you.
Wise words.
Now, if you don't do that, you're probably going to have to replace something really, really expensive.
Yep. You're just like flying along, like, in an Avenger, and then just like the hull just like comes apart in half, and you're just like sitting there in your chair, and like the two halves of the ship are just floating away from you in opposite directions.
It's like the opening credits in Serenity.
Yeah, I'd rather not have my primary buffer panel fall off my ship. That would be bad.
Organization dues. This is another major it depends factor because it depends on what CIG gives us to do. It depends on what your organization will want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So just skip the whole CIG decision. Let's just say we can do whatever we want. It's like, there could be some with no dues or tax or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could be some that has enough just to cover operation costs. There could be some that has some really high taxes but offer reimbursements. Or it could not really be a tax or dues. It could be just something you opt into for reimbursement, or maybe you could just take donations or what have you. Like, not too long ago, I think we were talking about how Pick and Shield would handle it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't talk about how this would be collected, but I would assume it would be collected from the overall operation income before divvying it out to the members.
Yeah, so basically on a per mission basis, the organization cut would be taken out, and then the organization cut would of course be somewhat small, like really just to make sure everything's on the up and up, and also part of that would be used to reimburse members for like relevant maintenance or ammunition or fuel consumed during that mission, and then other stuff just keep things running. But after that, then it'd be a even split of the remainder to the participants. Like, if you're not on the mission, you don't get paid. If you're on the mission, you do get paid. Simple as that. I mean, obviously the ratio would have to be something worked out way down the line as we get a better handle as to how exactly that works. I imagine I would have to do it on a case-by-case basis at the very beginning until we work out a system.
But yeah, I mean, it could be anything from like that up to replacing ships if they're lost. Like, I wouldn't expect there would be much of that, hopefully.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what insurance is for.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. Oregon's insuring their members' ships. That would be interesting.
Like, that's another thing that a lot of people have a lot of corps did in Eve too. It was like you pay a lot in your corp taxes, and if you lost your ship in a fighting for your organization or your corp or whatever, they'd get you a new one.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, crew member, were you gonna say something else?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like I would imagine orgs would also have like their own, like their stable of like ships that aren't owned by a particular member but just owned jointly by the organization. That was what I was gonna say. And that would certainly go into the expenses for that.
Paying crew members. Now this would probably be a little bit like running a mini org. You'd have to pay your crew members. But you have to keep in mind you're gonna need fuel. You're gonna need to restock ammo and do repairs, what have you. And you also have to make sure you don't get too big a ship for you to maintain. Like, for example, I had a Cutlass. It needed 2 crew members, and it could probably be operated pretty well with just one. You just lose out on a turret. And that wasn't the biggest thing in the world, but it could probably do everything I needed it to. And I believe the Drake ships are supposed to be pretty cheap and easy to maintain. So yeah, I could probably do that right out of the gate in the Persistent Universe. Now I've got a Retaliator.
Yay!
I don't think I can even man all the guns in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like even full pick and shield membership at this point would not be running a Retaliator at full capacity necessarily.
Yeah, we gotta do some recruitment. I don't think we've done any since that one Stars Oratoria episode.
Yeah.
If you call that recruitment. It got me.
Well, yay! Well, I mean, you are...
It's like you and me right now, basically.
Yeah.
That's doing stuff. I mean, there are other people, but...
We're certainly the most active, yeah. Let's see. Tally.
I believe it was 8 crew members. 6 of which are in turrets? No. 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know.
Where is it? Shouldn't be the... Oh. Yeah, Tally Max crew is 8. So I guess full pick and shield membership would be able to actually do it. Because 7 versus 8, not really that big a difference. Guess I overestimated it. Oh yeah, the tally's only 70 meters long. Only 70 meters, I say. I mean, that's still pretty big, but... Yeah. So, yeah. But that would take our entire organization in one ship.
But yeah, basically, if you're alone, getting a Retaliator would be stupid.
Yes, it would.
Getting a Cutlass, a Freelancer, understandable.
Or Reliant.
Yeah.
Of course, no one has any of those yet.
Space and combat suits. Hopefully you don't have to pay for these often. If you do, it's probably bad.
Yeah. I wonder if you'd have to...
At least with the space suits. I could see the combat suits getting used up fairly quickly.
I wonder if those will have durability.
I'd be surprised if they didn't. At least...
Like, if I got shot in my spacesuit, would that not work anymore?
I don't know. I'd assume some of them would have, like, self-sealing, like I know a lot of aircraft now, at least, like fighters, have self-sealing air tanks, so I don't see why in the future would be able to do that with a suit. Or at least seal off the area, so instead of depressurizing the whole suit, it just, depressurizes, I don't know, your, torso or your leg or something.
Yeah, the place where you got shot where the blood's coming out, Definitely a great place to have depressurization. But yeah, I would assume
it beats everything.
I would assume that that in 930 years we would have gotten that sort of thing worked out pretty well.
Yeah, but even then, it'll probably also come down to what kind of, say, armor it is in the combat suit. Like today, there's the three kinds I know of most are like Kevlar, which is I think basically a bulletproof or bullet resistant rather fabric. There's nothing that's really bulletproof. Just get a bigger gun.
Yep.
There's steel plates, which can take one hell of a beating. If you punch a hole in it, there's still the rest of the plate to hit. And then there's ceramic scales. I think it's called dragon scale or something.
Yeah, that stuff is cool.
It's it's good, but it's like a one-shot deal. It's like your mother's expensive china.
Yeah.
Anyway,
stop fidgeting with stuff.
Anyway, you probably wouldn't need many different suits. Most people probably get by with their class 2s.
I'm gonna collect all of the outfits in the Star Citizen universe. Someone's gonna do that. You know someone's gonna do that.
Pixley's gonna be a fashionista. Okay, so...
No, the Colonel will go around in his class 2 fight suit. That is all he will ever wear. Except maybe for formal things, and he'll maybe put on a class 3. No, no. Actually,
anyway.
Yeah, I probably would. I want proper pick and shield uniforms. That's going to be a thing.
That'd be nice. I think they mentioned it, and they are adding paint to the ships and soon TM. Anyway, most people could probably make do with a class 2. If you're going to dogfighting a lot, you probably class 3 or 4 would probably be nice if the class 4s are available to civilians slash citizens. If you're doing a lot of FPS combat, a class 6 or 7 would be probably really nice. Myself, I think I'll probably end up using a class 2 if I'm not expecting to go into combat. Otherwise, I'd use a class 3, but that's just because I get the free class 2 uniform, or class 2 suit.
Yeah.
And if a class 3 would just kind of be kind of general purpose one, I'd probably use that in FPS combat too, unless I end up doing it a lot, in which case I'd get a class 5.
Yeah. Well, if I were to make a call on that, I would make the pick and shield flight suit uniform be class 3.
Yeah. Excuse me, I meant a class 6. FPS guns and ammo. Again, it probably depends on what you're doing. There's a trend here, isn't there? There's a lot. It depends.
Yeah.
If you're just going to be going, if you're going to be dogfighting or just flying from one planet to another, you can probably just do with a pistol, a simple energy pistol.
Yup.
I'm pretty sure we all get the. We've all been awarded one.
Well,
everyone that pledged before a certain stretch goal.
I think that was in the 20 mil range-ish area.
And then there's also the ones that come with Super Hornet. I don't know if those are the same or not.
I don't know.
In most situations, that would probably be fine, unless, again, you're going into FPS combat a lot, in which case you're going to want to put a little bit more money into your equipment.
Yeah, I would say an assault rifle, maybe, if you feel like it.
Rifle, shotgun, SMG, what have you, grenades.
Yeah.
Really depends on the situation. I mean, if you're primarily a pilot and there's a chance you're going to end up, fighting a lot of enemies on foot, you'd probably at least want an SMG.
Yeah. It depends on how good energy pistols are.
Yeah. Medical expenses. Again, it depends on who picks you up. You could get someone that does it for a bare minimum, like if we get some medical equipment, that'd probably be what we do. I'm not entirely sure though. Would we do medical stuff? Get a Cutlass Red and go around?
Uh,
Maybe. 'Cause I
that's
know
certainly something that'd be cool to do. I mean, I feel like that's something
I
we'd have to be a lot bigger for, though.
yeah.
Because, I mean, that'd be 5 distinct operation type stuff
Yeah.
we'd be doing thus far.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt to have one.
Yeah, I feel like
As you
having
know,
one for like to pick up members after big battles or something would be good, but like going out of our way for it, that'd be a
well,
that's definitely a
maybe
decision
we
to
could get
make.
hired to go after in a battle for someone else and pick people up.
Well, yeah,
Anyway,
if we're participating, I'm saying like that's different. Like I'm saying like
yeah,
going out of our way to pick people up, then
yeah.
that'd be something that we
But
have to be
anyway,
a lot bigger
like
for.
I was saying, there are people that do it for the bare minimum. There are people that basically pick you up and are trying to, to, to extort you, to get you pay like everything you own to heal you or you die.
Dr. Pirates. Oh my gosh. I wonder if anyone else has thought of that.
They've probably thought of it already.
I'll have to ask
And
Kin
then-
Shadow.
Or I'm pretty sure they'll be free or really cheap, kind of built-in options. Like you could wind up on a UE med bay on like a planet or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, do we know if the UE has universal health care?
I don't know.
They should.
Probably. At least basic like savior like
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're gonna like replace a limb, then
at least if you're a citizen, I would assume so.
yeah. Well, fortunately, the Colonel would have that. Yeah, definitely like just getting you back on your feet. But like if
Yeah.
you need like prosthetics or anything, I feel like that would something you'd have to at least pay some amount for,
Yeah.
if not the whole thing.
Last but not least, getting out of jail early. Don't go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go to jail. That's bad.
If you end up going to jail a lot doing whatever you're doing, you should probably look into a different profession. Seriously. That kind of means it's not working for you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, yeah, just don't go to jail. I guess our last topic then, but certainly not unimportant, is Healing Your Spacemen. The spiritual successor to Death of a Spaceman post from oh so long ago. This is, I was gonna say right off the bat, like, this is better than I could have hoped for. Like, I knew they were, like, we were told they were going for something, more realistic and tactical, but they freaking slam dunked this. You have separate limbs, but the thing is, like, your upper and lower arms are considered two separate things in regards to health, and, like, your limbs get damaged, you may be hurt, damaged, and ruined, and there's a point where in which you like, ruins where, like, you gotta get a new one, right?
I'd assume so. Because
If the player is able to be healed by a player with medical equipment, the limb is completely gone and cannot be used. Yeah. So, yeah. If your limb is ruined, then yeah, you don't have that anymore. So don't let your head or torso fall to ruined, because not having a head or torso will probably mean you're dead. If not actually mean you're dead. But yeah, and there'll be like a bunch of cues to indicate like when you get hurt or how you're hurt. Like you'll have your HUD.
And if you don't have your HUD, you'll have like your how fast you're breathing, your heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually like look at your limbs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone has
You
an
might
Obi
have
glass.
like, blurred vision, or you might black out or something.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine like there'd be like this screen like pulsing red effect from like the direction of that limb or something.
There's one thing I kind of hope they do. You're bleeding out, and there's someone with you, but they don't have like the proper equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They could maybe do something like, say, a tourniquet,
Oh,
which will
yeah.
stop or greatly slow the bleeding. But if it's left on too long, maybe you could lose the entire limb. Like, say,
Ooh.
because, you're cutting off the blood flow.
Yeah.
So you might stop the guy from bleeding out, but after getting healed, you might not have an arm anymore, or the upper arm,
Mm-hmm.
or say the upper arm's already gone. I expect it to be some sort of, like, I don't know, maybe cap you could just put on it, sort of like bio welds on and stops the bleeding, but I don't know, that might be overpowered.
Well, I would imagine that would be like part of like a battlefield med kit or
Yeah,
something.
that'd probably be more advanced, like the more proper one.
Yeah.
I suppose one of the more improper or temporary ones would just be like wrapping it with a bandage.
Yeah.
Again, slowing or stopping the bleeding.
Yeah. I don't know. I much prefer just having an assigned battle medic.
Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah, and then there could also be like adrenaline, which could
Yeah.
maybe lessen the effects, but make you shake a little bit more when you're aiming.
Yeah, adrenaline, morphine, that sort of thing.
Just help you keep going, and not die as fast.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like way too much in this article to cover, like in one podcast. I think like this super detailed, very well done. If you haven't read Healing Your Spacemen, you should. I mean, there's stuff about player dragging, like they even have 4 different ways the player is being dragged, like whether they're on their back or their stomach, or whether they're being dragged by their shoulders or their feet. Like, and then like stuff about the med devices, bleeding out, how it relates to like when you're in your ships. Like, there's a lot of stuff here, and if you haven't read it, you definitely should. Like, it is great stuff, and it makes me really happy that they're going for this approach as opposed to like blood on screen so real thing like in COD. You don't just respawn. You have to be dragged. Like, that's really cool stuff. Yeah. I'm excited. It's gonna be great.
So, this day-ish in Star Citizen history, we got Hainer Patch 9. Windman's Hainer episode 49, now with Oompa Loompas. And we had $34 million raised.
Nice.
And you know what I just realized?
What did you just realize?
I only went back 1 year.
Oh!
Back to now.
Oh, yeah, crap!
Here we go again. There's a Rye Day update. They didn't put the F in.
No. A Rye Day update.
So yeah, that's when they kind of linked the Kickstarter with the RSI page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think. I don't remember, it's so long ago.
Yeah. We also had meet Pete Mackey.
Yeah. We got more details on the Constellation and the P-52.
Ooh. We were just talking about Merlin earlier.
The old Constellation. It's better now, but I'm gonna miss it. It'd
Yeah.
be nice if they add that as like a Mark 1 or Mark 2.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they should do. Yeah. You also had Chris Roberts being interviewed by none other than Total Biscuit.
I think that was like the first time I've heard Total Biscuit like go all fanboy.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, like, how much has changed, because like nowadays he's like not as fanboyish about it because of all the BS regarding early access and like not good Kickstarters has kind of soured him on the whole thing. But I mean,
And because, you get sick of the hype after a while.
yeah. There's a reason Total Biscuit's called the cynical Brit. It's because he's from England.
There was also a post talking about jump points, how you'd be able to find one, what to do with it.
You go through it, you silly.
Yeah, so on and so forth. This was like the first mention of, what you can do with them.
Ooh,
And
I'm
you
gonna
know what?
mention
We
this.
still don't know all that much about them. We know more because we just got the character update, but still not much.
Yeah.
For example, there could be things that look like jump points that aren't. That might not be nice.
Ooh.
Spoilers.
Thanks a lot.
I don't know. There might be different things that happen. I mean, there seriously might be. I don't know. I've only played it once. Because
Alright.
keep in mind, there were 2 options for each one. They could send you in different paths.
Yeah. A lot of RNG shenanigans, I'm sure.
And we also had, was this our first span spotlight?
Span Spotlight. Wow.
Was this our first pan spotlight? The Star Citizen HQ.
I don't know. Probably. Definitely one of the first.
Oh.
Now, I mean, I've been doing. I know it was like later on because like it was on the 19th, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. We got Meet Michael Moreland. You always got to meet Michael Moreland.
Oh yes, I think. I'm glad I remembered this.
What did you remember? Can't be more awesome than Mike Moreland. Mike Moreland's a boss.
Horizon.
Blue Horizon.
Remember them?
Oh yeah, I do remember them. Wait, was that their website?
No.
Oh.
Let me find the actual date. There's no date on it. It's too old.
Yeah.
But basically, another major thing that happened around this time. The collapse of Blue Horizon.
Wait, this was 2013, right? Not 2012.
Yes, 2013.
Okay.
It was the first major mega corporation to fall apart.
Yep. You know you're doing something wrong when your giant org falls apart before the game even comes out.
I think he was like openly threatening the goons or something.
Well, that's never a good idea. I mean, I don't like the goons, but I'm not gonna threaten them. Not yet, anyway.
There's plenty of good goons. I mean, I'm pretty sure Scott Manley's one.
Oh, really?
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, well, Scott Manley is a pretty cool dude.
Yeah. And he's Scottish.
Yes. How appropriate. Scott Manley, the Scot.
Yeah. I knew, with how early people are trying to form groups, that some would collapse.
Yeah.
I didn't expect any big ones to collapse like that. Just completely implode.
Mm-hmm.
From one person leaving? I don't know. I didn't look into the details of it.
I think it's because their leader was fell off the face of the earth or something stupid. I don't know. I mean, Pick and Shield had long since been established, so I didn't really care about the other orgs. I mean, the only reason I know next to anything about like Imperium or the Gunrathi is because
they're everywhere.
Yeah, because they're everywhere, and it's like that. That one time, I think it was when Imperium hit like 2K members or something like that.
Spotlight or something.
Yeah, well then the Gunrathi sent them a congratulatory picture. It's like, and like the picture is like congratulations on reaching 2,000 members. Like, we're sure you're doing a great job with proper vetting of your members, like good policies, focus on what you're doing, and the picture was like of a house of cards. That I thought that was really funny. I mean no ill will towards Imperium. I wish them well, of course, but I thought that was really funny.
But anyway, I think we've filled our rambling quota.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course.
Is there anything else, or should we call it?
Nope, just the little outro bit I do. You know, that thing I do every episode of every show. So, I'd like to thank everyone who makes this possible. CIG, of course, for making the game and stuff. Senator Van Ryan for inspiring us, and of course we wish him luck in everything he does from here on out. Wingman, because he's awesome, even though he's not with CIG anymore. He's definitely been a pretty good influence on the show, I think. And definitely helped me get out of my shell in regards to like participating in the Star Citizen community. Who else? Well, all of you listeners out there.
Yeah, if any of you want to be on this show, just shoot us an email at pickandshield@gmail.com.
Yep. And
or message us on the forum.
Yeah, although the email address is definitely something I would see more easily. One more group of people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank Star Citizen Roleplay. That's starcitizen-rp.org. Forum dedicated to the Star Citizen Roleplay community. Lots of great resources, very supportive, and Skymaster, the guy who leads it, came on the show, and he's a really cool dude. Lots of really cool people on there. Pretty active, I'd say.
Yeah, I keep meaning to, but I think the most I've done is put "I'm with Pixley" on my profile.
Well, that's like a step above "I'm with Stupid."
But really, check it out, guys. I mean to, I just don't really have time, and I'm still new to the roleplay thing, so I don't think of it much.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, like, there's a lot of stuff meant for people who are new to it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a really important part of it. So yeah, that's starcitizen-rp.org. That will, of course, be in the description of the video or audio broadcast, depending on which one you're listening to. So yeah, this is Pixley and Alderin signing off.